So yesterday I had the chance to watch what I can say is one of my favorite top anime movies, that being 100 Meters. I've never heard of the manga before, but the movie itself is based on the manga called 100 Meters. And throughout watching this movie, I was locked in. Before I continue talking more about this anime film, please give me a like and remember to subscribe to my channel. I will highly appreciate it. So continuing on, I would say that this movie will probably catch a lot of people off guard due to the fact that it is basically a sports anime. And mainly people who view anime that is based on the sports, they would normally want to see the sports anime have some type of form of special powers. A prime example would probably be like Blue Lock or Kuroko no Basket, because if not, it is just a basic sports anime and it turns a lot of people off. But this is the thing that caught my attention about 100 Meters first off. First of all, I've learned about this movie through ads on social media, like it was speaking to me, just the way they were advertising the movie and the animation itself, from what I was seeing through the trailer and just trying to find out what all in all this whole thing was about, because it's much more than just an anime movie about track and field to me. I feel like the movie was very inspirational, and I can't say that much about many anime movies out there, but from beginning to end, you will see how much effort that the creators put into the story and just the characters in general. It was just a masterpiece. Now, if you guys are wondering what exactly is this movie about, if you haven't watched the trailer, so to sum it up, the story follows two young kids whose life basically revolves around sprinting. The one character being Togashi, who is a well-rounded, athletic, award-winning, and confident sprinter. Then you have the other protagonist, who is Kamiya, who is the complete opposite of Togashi, but he runs effortlessly to increase his determination on winning something in the long run. You see from the very beginning of how Kamiya is struggling to keep up with his classmates in running, but that doesn't stop him from continuing. He keeps going and stays motivated until Togashi happens to see him running from his window relentlessly around where Togashi lives. Togashi then runs after Kamiya and he approaches him and asks him why does he run so much. Now, this isn't the first time these two have interacted with each other. There's been sights Togashi has seen Kamiya run effortlessly and struggling to keep up with his stamina. So then Togashi ends up training Kamiya on running, and thus this is where the true competitive spirit for Kamiya comes alive. He takes Togashi training to heart, and this is where the true friendship and rivalry starts between the two. Speaking of Kamiya, I just want to talk about his appearance. It stood out to me because you can tell that he looks like the average character that you will see maybe going through very personal struggles or getting bullied in school or just socially awkward. He doesn't look like the athletic type. You kind of get those vibes from Kamiya, like in one of the scenes he was running and the bottom of his shoes tore apart. And Togashi tells him that you need some new sneakers, but Kamiya simply takes his book bag and finds tape and tapes it around the front of his sneakers, and he tells Togashi that I'm in no need for new sneakers. I want to win with these sneakers on. And you can also tell by his face and his hair just being over his eyes, it kind of can tell you that he's going through something, and this is why he motivates himself to continue to achieve his goals. He wants something for himself to feel like there's something to live for. The movie doesn't particularly expand on his personal life, but that's the thing about this particular film, because this movie tends to do a lot of time skips in between. With no spoilers, because I want you guys to really watch this movie whenever it comes on streaming or however you guys want to watch the movie, but the movie has a lot of time skips, and between these time skips are very crucial parts of the movie because you tend to see the growth in these characters. And the craziest part is the fact that during these time skips, you still see these characters still doing track and field, still running, still sprinting, still being motivated to win. And the one thing that stood out to me is the fact that you really see the journey during these time skips between these two characters. Like for Togashi's sake, he was one of the best runners for so many years. He was praised by classmates, praised by the media. He was just on top. So as you see him grow, you kind of see him losing a little bit of motivation for track and field. While in Komiya's sake, this man has not stopped. He is still thriving, he is still motivated, nothing has stopped him from achieving his goals. He has gotten better than ever before, and you will see that growth throughout the time skips. Again, there was one major plot point that really stood out to me. Once again, I won't give out any spoilers, but something happened to him as a kid that followed him on through the time skip. So you see him having the same struggle as he progressively grows and becomes a better sprinter, and this messes a bit with his motivation to compete in track and field. These two characters are the pinpoint of the movie, and through their competitive nature, you see how each of these characters go through their own struggle from competing in the sport of track and field. Now that we talk about the characters and the story, I just want to focus on the animation. The animation in this movie was so beautiful. Like, they used so much different varieties of animation. Even in between the time skips, you see the difference in animation. In some of the scenes, it just looks like you're looking at real life people. Like, that's how beautiful the animation was. Like, every scene struck to me out in a way that most anime films wouldn't risk doing. Another thing that was really beautiful about the animation aspect of the movie was the settings. Obviously, it takes place in Japan, but my gosh, the way they present the environments, like one of the biggest settings in the movie was the athletic river point, because this is where the two characters go and train to run, and it also highlights their first competitive rivalry. Like, you see the trains running through, and even in some parts of the movie, it felt like you were in that environment with the characters, because in some scenes you would hear the background noises for the environments while the characters are talking. Like, you can hear probably like planes flying in the background. I can't even explain it, but for me, who has been in Japan twice and stayed outside of the city, those environmental sounds just resonated with me when I was watching the movie, because it just reminded me of when I visited Japan. If this anime movie was based on a true story, it would have been very believable, because I cannot express again that there was no powers involved, no special type of energy auras around the characters. It was nothing like that. But through the animation and the way that these characters are running, you can just see and feel how it actually is competing in track and field. And I cannot express how the animation made the movie more of a masterpiece than how I feel about it already. It just adds onto the story, it adds onto the presentation. I'm telling you, this movie is definitely worth your time watching. Even if you're a fan of just shonens or any genre in between, this one I would definitely recommend. It's a different cup of tea, but I can't tell you from start to end, the story, the pacing, the characters, the growth in between these characters is all worth watching at the end of the movie. It made me feel motivated and made me feel like there's a real purpose in life. If you really pay attention to the movie, this is how it made you feel. Damn, it made me even want to run through a river point in Japan. That's how motivational this movie made me feel. If I were to rate this movie, I would definitely give it a 5 out of 5. Even my friends who I watched the movie with agreed that the movie is definitely a 5 out of 5. Once again, like I said, this movie probably won't be for everybody, but I would definitely say please go out your way and give it a chance. And shout out to G Kids for releasing this movie into theaters. Now, this will conclude the video. If you watched the movie in theaters or plan to watch the movie, please let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts on 100 meters? Did you enjoy the movie? Did you not like it? What didn't you like about it? Anything in between, please let me know in the comments. And also, please support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I will highly appreciate it. My name is Sam Maddock, and I'll see you guys in the next video.